Half-Blood Prince. The sixth installment of the Harry Potter film series is based on J.K. Rowling's novel of the same name. It was released in 2009, and like the previous movie, was directed by David Yates. The screenplay was written by Steve Kloves, who also wrote the screenplay for the fifth movie. The movie was produced by David Heyman, who produced all 8 Harry Potter films, along with Rowling, who also served as one of the executive producers. Warner Brothers Pictures handled the movie's distribution. The visual effects for the movie were provided by the visual effects company Double Negative, among others. Let's take a closer look at the plot, characters, and other aspects of the movie. But first, if you love anything to do with fantasy stories, magical schools, or just good old-fashioned good versus evil, then make sure to click the subscribe button so you don't miss any updates. And with that said, let's begin. In the opening scene, we see 16-year-old Harry Potter arriving back at Hogwarts for his 6th year. He's greeted by Ron Weasley and Hermione Granger, who fill him in on some gossip they learned over the summer. Nearly headless Nick. The ghost of a former student has been made head ghost in Peeves. The poltergeist has been given a position as a member of the Care of Magical Creatures faculty. Albus Dumbledore, the headmaster of Hogwarts and Harry's mentor, welcomes the students back and announces that the next defense against the dark arts professor will be introduced soon. Meanwhile, Severus Snape, who was promoted to headmaster at the end of the previous school year, has taken up the position of potions professor. During one of his classes, Harry notices an old book bearing a label that reads the property of the Half-Blood Prince, which indicates that the book once belonged to the mysterious Half-Blood Prince. This becomes a pivotal point in the movie. Later, Harry learns from Slughorn that the Half-Blood Prince was a former Hogwarts student who excelled at potions and left the school 40 years earlier. The book was mistakenly placed in the restricted section by one of the school librarians. Harry obtains the book, and its advanced contents help him earn high marks in class, much to the annoyance of his rival, Draco Malfoy, whose father, Lucius, had been friends with the Half-Blood Prince. One night, Harry sneaks into Slughorn's office to thank him for allowing him to use the book, but he inadvertently reveals that he knows about the Half-Blood Prince's friendship with Lucius Malfoy. Slughorn becomes agitated and forbids Harry from mentioning their friendship again. We soon learn that Slughorn had tried to hide this connection because he feared repercussions from Voldemort. He had blocked Harry's attempts to question him about the Dark Lord's past, likely to shield himself from any potential danger. However, when Harry found the Half-Blood Prince's book, Slughorn began to feel compelled to reveal what he knew. Voldemort, meanwhile, had been searching for Horcruxes, objects that contained fragments of his soul and were used to achieve immortality. Unbeknownst to Slughorn, Harry was actually one of these Horcruxes. As a result, Dumbledore had been working to get Harry ready to face Voldemort since the beginning of the series. Dumbledore believed that defeating Voldemort would require more than just magical ability and that Harry needed to be emotionally prepared as well. Dumbledore and Harry review memories kept in a pensieve, a special bowl-like object that allows users to relive past experiences. These memories were retrieved from one of Voldemort's closest followers, a man named Peter Pettigrew, who had betrayed Harry's parents, James and Lily, to Voldemort 15 years earlier. Through these memories, Harry learns that Voldemort had used a simple spell to fool everyone into believing Pettigrew had died during the attack. He also discovered that Pettigrew changed his appearance by using a spell known as the Imperious Curse, which allowed him to avoid suspicion for 13 years. In fact, Pettigrew had infiltrated the Order of the Phoenix, a secret organization dedicated to fighting against Voldemort. At this point, it became clear that Dumbledore and Harry needed more information to defeat Voldemort. So Dumbledore went to Slughorn and requested that he hand over another memory that pertained to the Dark Lord's past. Slughorn reluctantly agreed, but when Dumbledore arrived home with the memory, he discovered that it had been replaced with a blank one. Slughorn had evidently stolen it back. To retrieve the memory, Dumbledore traveled to a cave where he was tortured by inferi animated corpses used as servants. After retrieving the memory, Dumbledore returned to the school where he collapsed after drinking a potion that was meant to reveal whatever was inside the memory. We soon discovered that the memory showed Tom Riddle, a young version of Voldemort, traveling to the bank where he deposited one of his Horcruxes. The location of the other Horcruxes remained a mystery. Harry, Ron, and Hermione decided to find the remaining Horcruxes and destroy them in order to weaken Voldemort. They started by visiting a house near the coast of the Black Sea, where they met a friend of Dumbledore named Bathilda Bagshot. She told them about a possible Horcrux known as a diadem that may have been located at the nearby school run by the villainous wizard Salazar Slytherin, one of the founders of Hogwarts. In the meantime, Draco Malfoy's mother, Narcissa, sought out Dumbledore in hopes that he could help her son, who had been having second thoughts about his mission to kill him. Instead, Dumbledore suggested that she speak to Harry, whom she found in the Forbidden Forest. While Narcissa demanded that Harry swear an unbreakable vow to protect Draco, the forest was suddenly filled with Dementors, soul-sucking creatures that fed on human happiness. The Dementors attacked Harry, causing him to lose control and transform into a raging, wild animal. When Narcissa realized that Harry was struggling, she intervened, saving him and making it clear that she had come to respect him. Later, we discover that Draco had set the Dementors on Harry as part of his mission. Having failed to kill Dumbledore, Draco attempted to flee, but he was stopped by Hermione, who used a spell to stun him. Ron, who had been angry with Hermione for using magic to prevent him from competing in the upcoming Triwizard Tournament, argued with her. This caused a rift between the two friends. Meanwhile, Neville Longbottom, who was secretly dating Luna Lovegood, approached Draco and offered him the chance to join the growing group of students who opposed Voldemort. Draco refused, although he seemed torn by the offer. While visiting the ruins of Slytherin's school, Harry, Ron, and Hermione were confronted by a mysterious figure named the Half-Blood Prince. Although he initially appeared hostile, he eventually revealed that he was simply testing them to determine whether or not they were worthy of his late father's old books. After passing his test, Harry was given the Half-Blood Prince's old wand, which turned out to be a powerful tool that helped him battle Voldemort later in the series. The Half-Blood Prince was revealed to be none other than Severus Snape, who had loved Harry's mother, Lily, before she married James Potter. Although he had become a Death Eater, a follower of Voldemort, and had participated in torturing Harry's parents, he broke away from the Dark Lord after Lily was killed and ultimately became a double agent who worked for Dumbledore. After handing over the memory that led to the cave with the Inferi, he pretended to switch sides and returned to Voldemort. His true loyalties were only revealed at the end of the movie, when he used a spell to disarm Dumbledore. Of course, we learn in the next movie that this was part of a plan to keep Dumbledore from dying, until he had passed on vital knowledge to Harry, such as how to destroy the remaining Horcruxes. Draco Malfoy's arc in the movie was a significant one. He had struggled with his feelings of duty toward Voldemort and his desire for a normal life. In a key scene, he encountered a boggart that took the form of one of his worst fears, a life without his family. This revealed his deep love for them and his willingness to change. However, he ultimately chose to stay with his family rather than fight against Voldemort, showing his capacity for both good and evil. Another memorable character in the movie was Amicus Carrow, a Death Eater who took pleasure in teaching dark magic at Hogwarts. He played a key role in the movie by revealing how powerful dark magic could be, especially when he fought against fellow Hogwarts professor Minerva McGonagall and was ultimately defeated by her. With all that said, let us know in the comments below if you've seen this movie. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. Please also click the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of our future videos.